I'm Chris Younggren, proud car guy since 1991, where I spent my first 20 years working at the same dealership, starting as salesperson, then finance, then was a sales manager for 10 years before I spent my last 6 years as the general sales manager for this dealer. Now I train, recruit, and coach salespeople throughout the automotive industry and other industries as well. Today I want to talk about the investigation step in the sales process for purchasing vehicles. This is where world-class salespeople use questions to find out needs and wants for that particular customer's unique situation. There's 3 effective questions that sales pros use or world-class salespeople use in achieving this goal. So I'd like to get right at it. However, first I'd like to ask you something. Why do you think people ask questions? Well, that's right, to learn. Children ask questions to learn. Students, they'll ask questions to learn. New recruits, they ask questions. Innovators, they understand their clients' need by asking questions. Asking questions is the simplest and most effective way to learn. People who think they know all the answers, they got it good. They don't need to ask any questions, right? They know it all already. But seriously, brilliant thinkers, they never stop asking questions because they know that this is the best way to gain deep insights into the guest's needs and wants, and that way they can customize their presentation and their vehicle walk around to that customer's particular needs and wants, the customer's hot buttons, which we talk about in another video. So the first world-class question that pros ask when they're investigating for needs and wants is a question called either-or questions. Either-or questions, the definition is you ask a question and then supply the guest with all the answers. It's kind of like multiple choice in school. Now that we know what either-or questions are, why do we use these types of questions in the sale? Well, we're going to cover the 4 reasons we use these types of questions or ways we can use the either-or question in today's video. The first reason why we're going to use an either-or question is simply to investigate. We're going to use it to investigate for needs and wants. We've kind of said that at the top of the video. Guests come in and we want to know, are they looking for new, used, or perhaps certified pre-owned? How are you going to be using it? Are you going to be using it for business or pleasure? Who's going to be the main driver? Is it going to be you, Bill, or is it going to be you, Jane? Are you guys using this vehicle to haul things or to just haul people? Are you the main driver, or other people drive the vehicle as well? Do you live relatively close to where you work, so it's a short commute to work, or is it a relatively long commute? Those are the types of questions that we can ask the guests, and it's great because we're supplying the answers, so they're sure to get these answers correct. The second reason we're going to use the either-or questions during our automotive process is this. We want to maintain control. The person that is asking the leading questions controls the conversation. And early on, again, customers are out of their element. We want to be able to help lead them in a proper way. So asking these questions by supplying them the answers, it's going to maintain a level of control. A real fun example on illustrating the power of the either-or question to maintain control comes from our personal lives. How many times has this happened to you when you had dinner plans? Maybe you had dinner plans with a friend, with a wife, with a significant other, or even some friends. And you'd said, hey, on Saturday night, we're going to go out to dinner, but no one ever decided the place ahead of time. So you all arrive at somebody's house and you say, where are we going to go to eat? And you look around and people start throwing places out. Let's go to Biaggi's Italian restaurant. Nah, I don't want Italian. Well, how about steak? Nah, I don't feel like steak tonight. How about the Iowa Machine Shed? We could do like a buffet there. Nah, I don't want buffet. Chinese? Next thing you know, it's a 30-minute discussion on where you're going to go. And then when you get there, now there's no reservations. And so you're waiting sometimes 20, 30, 40, maybe an hour before you get seated. Next thing you know, you're about ready to eat your arm off because you're so doggone hungry. A way to solve this is this. Somebody take control. You take control. Throw out 3 different places to the group. Hey, do you want to go to ABC Chinese place? Do you want to go to Biaggi's Italian? Or do you want to go to Johnny's Steakhouse? Throw those 3 places out. Usually the party will choose one of the 3. And it works really well because they feel like they got to choose. You pick 3 places that you're okay with. The question gets answered much quicker and you're off hopefully eating an hour ahead of time than in the other situation. So that'd be a good example of how using the either or question can kind of help maintain control in your personal life, and it works similar in a sales situation. The third way you can use either or questions during the automotive sale, or any sale for that matter, is in the closing sequence. When you're getting ready to close, that moment of truth of asking them to purchase, many times the salesperson will hand them the pen. Hey, use my pen, sign here, press hard, it's going through 2 copies. However, that's an anxiety-filled moment. When you hand that pen over, it's like yes or no. And there's a lot of times some hesitation there, and the guest's nervous and again, stressful times. We want to make it a little less stressful, or hopefully a lot less stressful. And one way to do that is asking an either or question as a closing question. When you get to that moment of truth, you just simply say, hey, did you guys want to go ahead and title this vehicle in your name, or do you want to title it in your husband's name? Did you want to title it in Bill or William? Did you guys want a pop, water, or coffee while we finish up the paperwork? Those sort of things work very nicely in the automotive sale and again in other types of sales situations, because what they do is they take a lot of the curse off of, hey, do you want to spend $70,000, $80,000? What they really do is you're asking a minor question that carries with it a major decision. And it makes that closing sequence a lot less stressful, and people appreciate it. Now, the fourth reason or way you could use the either or question during your sale are when you're trying to make an appointment. A great way to do that is to say something to the effect, let's pretend that you're trying to have a time to have the guest come in and take a demonstration drive for the vehicle. And you just say, hey, does the week work better for you? Weekdays work better for you? Or would it be better to do it on the weekend? Okay, Saturday works good for you. Now, you want to do it in the morning, or is the afternoon a little bit more convenient? Afternoons? Now, do you mean like early afternoon around 1:15, or do you think 4 or 4:30 would be better? And then you go ahead and continue on and adjust to their schedule so you can go ahead and fit them into the time slot that works for them. However, you're also going to be able to help yourself, because say, for instance, you've got an appointment at 2 on that particular Saturday. Well, you're not going to have them come in at 2 or 2:30. You're going to ask them to come in at noon or 1, as we said, or maybe 4. So you're going to try to space it out a little bit so it helps both of you. And there you have it, the 4 reasons to use either or questions during the sales process. Now let's move on to the second type of question that sales pros ask to become world-class in the investigation and become world-class salespeople, and those are the open-ended questions. Now, open questions you've probably heard of. They're a question that you ask, and it requires more than a yes or no answer. It can't be, hey, do you like this color, blue? That's a yes or no. We want to say, what are your favorite colors? They've got to answer. They've got to say more than a yes or no. We'll get a more detailed answer from them. There's 2 main reasons we want to use open-ended questions during the sales process. Now, the first one's this: rapport. We touched on this in an earlier video on the meet and greet. We said that a good first impression, common ground or rapport, and establishing trust with the guest were going to be crucial to move this sale forward. Also, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And when you ask questions, you show that you care. You can ask things like, you guys from around here? Where do you work? Oh, how'd you get into that line of work? That's interesting. When you guys do go on vacations out in Colorado, what do you guys do when you get there? Or what do you guys do there? These types of things will help you get to know your guest better, establish rapport with them, and they can lead to the second reason why you want to use open-ended questions whenever you're in the sales process, and that is to investigate. You can use them to investigate needs and wants. Yeah, you can use the either or, but you can also use open-ended. A couple examples of open-ended investigative questions would be this: what were the main reasons that you guys decided you wanted to trade? When you bought this Tahoe in the past, what was it that attracted you to it? When you guys came in today and said that you were looking at new Ford Escapes, what was it that led you to that conclusion? When do you guys usually go on vacations? Those types of things would lead you to some investigative type of questions that would help you whenever you're doing your presentation and your demonstration. You're going to know a little bit more and gain a little bit more insight on how to do those, and that way you can customize your presentation and discussions with this particular guest's needs and wants. The third type of question that sales pros use to be more effective in the sales process are something that we call yes questions. Tom Hopkins will refer to them as tie downs. Joe Verdi talks about the power of yes questions. In fact, he says there's a 75% closing ratio if you can ask 45 yes questions in 45 minutes. They're very powerful, and the reason they're powerful is because you're just confirming the benefits the guests already told you that they liked or wanted. You're not going to go on a limb and ask them yes questions on something you don't already know. You're going to basically verify what they've told you. Because of that, what it does is it helps create value and it helps close the sale at the same time. Now let's take an example. Let's pretend for a moment the guest told you that midnight blue is their favorite color. They're purchasing this Explorer because they want more room for their clients in their real estate business, and they're getting the power leather lumbar 7-way adjustable heated seats because he's got a bad lower back and they drive over to Colorado twice a year to their vacation home. So we would just summarize the whole situation by saying, Bill, this is the car that you guys like, isn't it? And because the Explorer's got that midnight blue, I think you told me that was your favorite color, didn't you? And won't it be nice to have more room and not worry about being able to put people in your vehicle whenever you're picking them up to show them houses? And since this vehicle's got the 7-way power adjustable heated seats with that lumbar, won't that help that bad lower back on those long trips down to Colorado? Hey, what do you say we go ahead and wrap this thing up? Do you want a pop, water, or coffee while we go ahead and do the paperwork? And then you would move forward. Now, to use the yes question effectively, all you need to do is restate a question that they've already given you an answer to. And they told us that midnight blue is their favorite color. Well, we would just simply say to them, Bill, didn't you tell me that midnight blue is your favorite color? Now we could put it in the middle by just saying, since midnight blue is your favorite color, won't this look really nice in your driveway? And then if we wanted, we could put it at the end. Bill, midnight blue is your favorite color, isn't it? So we put it in all three spots. That way it doesn't seem manipulative or the guest doesn't get bored by hearing us restate that same yes question at the beginning, middle, or end every single time. Well, there you have it. The 3 effective questions that world-class salespeople use to be top-notch salespeople. Now, if you're still watching this, thanks. I appreciate it. Also, though, if you're still watching this, I'm assuming that you're in sales and you want to get better in sales. You've probably heard that you need to ask for the sale, right? Well, I'd like to change that and just say that world-class salespeople, they don't so much ask for the sale, they question their way to the sale. And because every question that you ask comes from the guest's last answer, every situation is going to be a little different. What's all that mean? That means that if you want to get really good at this and you want to become world-class, you need to practice. Well, as luck should have it, I'm a sales coach, and I'm here for you. If you'd like to practice with a partner or just some practice lessons on your own, I can help either way. Just leave me a like and then leave your information so I can contact you in the comments section. Let me know if you'd like to do a live role play or if you just would like some worksheets so you can get better in practice. That way you can master this investigation step in sales. Finally, I'd like to leave you with a quote from a childhood hero of mine, Bruce Lee. And he said, "A wise man can learn more from a foolish question than a fool can learn from a wise answer." Well, there you have it. Thank you.